Welcome to the High Country, Boone, North Carolina. Carolina Disco Turkeys baseball on the road up the mountain this evening from Boone to face the Boone Bigfoots from Beaver Field at Jim and Betty Smith Stadium on the campus of Appalachian State University. Brett Wiseman alongside Graham Tuck. Graham, very quickly, let's get into what happened last night down I-77 in Mooresville. What plagued the Disco Turkeys in that 10-run Mercy Rule loss?
Well, it was really a poor showing all around, mostly on the mound, though. We talked about it pregame yesterday. Free bases are what has been killing this team so far all season. It was not errors last night, rather walks, and so it'll be a big job for AC Plum to throw strikes on the mound tonight, and that'll be the key to take down the team that's at the top of the Textile League right now, the Bigfoots.
Yeah, you talked about it, top of the Textile League right now, 4-3. Let's get to the starting lineup for those Boone Bigfoots. Starting lineups presented by Foothills Brewing. Try Foothills great craft beer and coffee at any of their 3 Triad locations. Visit more at foothillsbrewing.com. Don Arienzo, the shortstop, leads things off for the Bigfoots during number 22. David Julian hits second, playing second base. Tyson Bass, the third baseman, in the third hole. Logan Lex, the first baseman, hitting cleanup. Dallas Travana, the right fielder, hits fourth. Anthony Frechette, the catcher, hits sixth. Justin Reed, the left fielder, seventh. Brandon Hotelin, the designated hitter, hits eighth. And Walter Monday, the center fielder, hits ninth. For your Carolina Disco Turkeys, Dion Tubbs, the speedster, leads things off in center field. Alex Canty, one of the new arrivals, the designated hitter, hits in the 2-hole. Austin St. Laurent, the East Carolina product, the shortstop, hits third. Henry Kohler, the left fielder, hits in the cleanup spot. Trey Newman, the Utah Valley catcher, hits fifth. Dane Stewart, the right fielder, in the 6-hole. Bryson Bever, over at first base, hits seventh, wearing number 2. Kason Haggard at second base hits eighth, and Kix Farrell rounds out the 9 for the Turkeys at the hot corner. Welcome back to Jim and Betty Smith Stadium, Beaver Field on the campus of Appalachian State University. Brett Wiseman alongside Graham Tuck to join us for Carolina Disco Turkeys baseball here on the Disco Turkeys YouTube as the Disco Turkeys get set to battle the top team in the Textile League. That would be the Boone Bigfoots, Graham Tuck.
And for Boone, they've come on hot recently. They started the season on a cold streak, 1-3, and they've won their last 3. 2 of them against the Catawba Valley Stars and a big 12-2 victory over the Martinsville Ponies, and we've seen them up close and in person. You know that a 12-2 victory over the Ponies is no small feat.
Not one bit at all, and we kind of touched on it last week on the Friday night broadcast, a thriller that was happening up here between the Bigfoots and the Catawba Valley Stars, whom, as we know, the Disco Turkeys were supposed to play Wednesday. Instead, the Bigfoots and the Stars played here Wednesday night instead.
Right, and this is just the kind of thing that happens with this kind of team, and, what can you do? But the Disco Turkeys are getting their hacks in. Game last night that was cut short, but hopefully this one will not be a similar fashion. Looking for the Disco Turkeys to come out with a big dub, and then tomorrow a trip to Thomasville to take on the High Toms, who the Disco Turkeys have already won 1 game against. And I want to give a quick shout out to the AppTV group here. They have been very kind to let us share their video feed, so you'll see the 3 camera setup today as opposed to our normal 1 that we've been using for games here on the YouTube channel. So very, very gracious of them to share their feed with us, and excited to get this game underway.
As you might know, and some of our viewers might know, I'm an alumnus of Appalachian State, and I will say that the folks at AppTV, whether it be the current students or the folks that are employed full-time with AppTV, are a fantastic group of people, and we're going to take advantage of some of the best equipment available to us all this year with a multi-camera setup, and you're going to see everything up close and personal, including the best uniforms in the Textile League. That's
ours,
powder
not
blue
theirs.
and orange.
Definitely ours.
Stepping in that powder blue and coral is Dion Tubbs as head coach Kurt Gabbana goes full sprint over to the third base coach's box. Zach Potts on the mound for Boone. His first pitch of the ball game in there, strike 1. First pitch time, 6:13 Eastern here in the high country. 0-1 the count to Tubbs, and Potts will step off. Looks in, shakes off once, not twice. Now gets the sign he wants, the pitch. Tubbs showed bunt, pulled back wisely as it would have been bunted right to the third baseman charging, but he takes a strike anyways, 0-2.
And Tubbs is on a bit of a cold streak after he started the season really hot.
Takes one well up and outside, 1-2. And Tubbs tried the same thing last night in Mooresville, tried to bunt to lead off the ball game. 1-2 from Potts. Outside again, count even, 2-2.
And Tubbs started the season on a pretty good hitting streak, and it ended last Saturday, and it's now 3 straight games without a hit for him.
2-2 is outside, and now we've gone from 0-2 to 3-2. 3 fastballs on the outer edge. He stayed away the entire at-bat. 3-2. Swung on and missed.
Obviously not the way you want to start things out, a first at-bat as a strikeout, but you got the pitch count up a little bit, so a little bit of a silver lining for Dion.
So Tubbs strikes out to begin the ball game, but nonetheless a pretty decent at-bat to come back from down 0-2 to work it full. And Alex Canty will step in now, one of the new arrivals for the Disco Turkeys, as we touched on last night, Graham.
Yeah, and Alex Canty, he had a pretty good day yesterday.
Was on base every time up.
Oh, that he was.
Fouls that one back, 0-1. Was plunked in the first pitch he saw as a Disco Turkey.
And he went 1 for 2 last night.
Oh, that's right. I jinxed him. Forgot about that. I said he was on base every time, and then I
Except for the last one.
Except for the last one.
But he did have the best on-base percentage of any of the new arrivals, I'll give you that.
Takes one low, it count even 1-1.
I'm really excited.
Foots.
Really excited for all of these new arrivals.
1-1 to Candy's a breaking ball that misses low and away, 1-2. Or excuse me, 2-1. Potts, good fastball slider combo for a right-hander of his size. Pretty comparable arms on both sides tonight with AC Plum going for Carolina and this youngster on the mound for Boone.
Already, that was just the 10th pitch of the inning for Potts.
Just what they did last night.
And you got St. Laurent on deck, so that's no easy task if you're a pitcher.
Candy heavily choking up on the bat, and as a result will foul that one back as well. Hoping to put together an Anthony Rizzo-like at-bat that might have seen the likes of earlier this afternoon. The first game at Wrigley Field that's been full capacity since September of 2019. 2-2. Foul back again. If you missed it, Rizzo had a 14-pitch at-bat that led to a home run that tied the game at 5 that Chicago went on to win 7-5 and take down the rival Cardinals. Carolina Disco Turkeys hoping to take down their newly formed rival in the form of the Boone Bigfoots. Potts set the 2-2. Swung on and popped up right side. Could be playable over there in foul territory and caught by the second baseman for Boone. That's David Julian who makes the play 2 down.
Getting the pitch count up, like we said, same thing as the at-bat before. Not the ending you've wanted either time, but you're getting contact, at least if you're Canty. And St. Laurent, you know that he's going to put a bat on the ball.
It's what you want in the first inning. You want to see everything he's got. Even if you don't get anyone on or anyone over or anyone in, at the very least, you get to see the best of the starter stuff right off the bat. Here's St. Laurent. First pitch to him, line through the right side. That's a base hit.
What did I tell you? He's putting a bat on the ball every single time.
And that's what happens when you get 2 long at-bats like that. And Potts tried to get me over fastball, and Laurent wasn't having any of it. Shot it through the opposite hole. So he's on, and we know he can run, too. And here's Henry Kohler.
And for St. Laurent, just the 1 walk, only time he got up on base yesterday. Went 0 for 2 at the plate. So his first hit as a disco turkey.
First pitch to Kohler just missed outside, 1-0. They got a good view of home plate from where we are, and again, gracious to the folks here with the Bigfoots and AppTV for giving us a nice view of this one.
I don't think there's a bad view in this ballpark.
You know, I would say the same, but we knew that was coming. Beaver Field, one of, if not the most gorgeous college baseball park in the country. You should see those trees when they've got color on them. Kohler up the middle. That's a base hit. Laurent will make the turn and stop at second, and the Disco Turkeys have something cooking here with 2 down, Graham.
2-out rallies are this team's forte. I'm not quite sure why, but they are.
And that's not a bad thing.
Oh, not at all. If you can get hits with 2 outs, you're doing much better than most teams at this level.
So a pair of 2-out singles brings in Trey Newman. And here's the critical situation we were talking about last night, Graham, and it seems like we've been talking about all year. Bases loaded twice last night in Mooresville.
Stranded both times.
In the first 2 innings, so 6 stranded right off the bat.
Left
Can't
on
afford
base
that
and
here.
errors.
That's in there, strike 1. Good changeup.
And for Newman, this is the first time he's been in the lineup since last weekend. Batting 154 through 3 games so far. 2 hits.
He hit the ball well last weekend.
Oh, that he did. Who didn't?
Made solid contact as that missed just low. He tried to change up again. Potts has good stuff out there. I'll give him that.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And you know they're throwing their best guy against us.
It's a Friday night starter. As it is in college baseball as well. Slider got him to swing through it and miss 1 and 2.
Well, the difference here is that for college baseball, most of the time, Friday night is the first game of a weekend series.
Correct.
For the Bigfoots, they've already had a couple of games this week. They played a doubleheader on Wednesday, and they're still throwing their best guy against Carolina.
1-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Potts works out of the 2-out jam, and the Turkey strand 2. Boone comes to bat next here on the Carolina Disco Turkeys YouTube. Back here at Beaver Field in Boone, North Carolina. Brett Wiseman alongside Graham Tuck as AC Plum gets set to take the bump for the Disco Turkeys, and Dan Arienzo will lead things off for the Boone Bigfoots. We're able to work out of a 2-out jam back at the top half of that first inning.
Both hits coming with 2 outs from St. Laurent and the cleanup man, Kohler.
That pitch misses up and over to the backstop, 1-0. As is customary, the Bob Uecker sound effect for any pitch that misses the plate by any amount of that stretch. Plum from the stretch, interestingly enough to start the game, the 1-0. That's just up and in.
And that's something that a lot of
That's
times...
a strike, 1-1. That was not a very demonstrative call.
It was a foul ball.
Ah.
It checked the swing and it went off his bat just barely.
So I'm blind. Okay, anyways.
We do have a railing in front of us in your defense.
1-1. Upstairs, 2-1.
That's what you were talking about from going from the stretch to the first batter. It's something that we'll see a lot at this level is players fooling around with their mechanics, seeing what works. And, you know, for Plum, if he's working on his delivery from the stretch, that's what you're going to see a lot of, even if there's nobody on.
There's a pop-up into shallow right field. Could be trouble. Kohler coming on, calls off the second baseman, Farrell, to make the play. Excuse me, that's Hoggard, the second baseman, to make the play for out number 1.
Haggard moving from third to second tonight, and kicks Farrell, was the extra hitter last night, so Logan Conklin, the odd man out from yesterday's infield.
Made a whale of a play over there at third base last night, as did St. Laurent. Made a couple of good plays up the middle, as that'll bring in David Julian, the second baseman for Boone, as he'll try and butt one, and he might have a knock here unless it's played well, and it is. Nicely done. Kicks Farrell at third base, charged hard, and of course it is all turf here. No part of this field is dirt. As beautiful a set of turf as it is, you try a butt like that and you don't deaden it enough, that's what happens.
Well, I'll tell you what, if I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. I am a huge fan of all these new additions. Farrell, no exception. What a phenomenal play over there by the hot corner third baseman.
And that was a drop butt too. That wasn't planned, and it was not like he squared before the pitch.
Got a late read.
Great play there. And that is line diving catch over at first base by Beber to end the inning. So some sparkling defense early on from the Disco Turkeys, and they'll try and get the bats to do the same after this. Dane Stewart leads things off for the Carolina Disco Turkeys. So we welcome you back to Beaver Field in Boone. The first pitch of the at-bat from Potts is a breaking ball that swung on and missed for strike 1. But both guys, Graham, really efficient off the bat here.
Well, you wanna talk about efficiency. For Potts, first inning, 20 pitches. For Plum, 6.
In the inner right, that's carrying well. Back it goes, and it's going to hit off the warning track and hop into the bullpen.
Now, riddle me this. How did that one hop into the bullpen? It bounced on the warning track. That just shows you how high that ball was hit, that it had the angle to bounce on the warning track, not in the grass, or what would be grass if this wasn't a turf field, on the warning track, and still bounce into the bullpen for an RBI double. Great piece of hitting one way or the other.
And you can't really see the way the trees are blowing right now, but the trees are blowing left into right field. So that's what forced that ball to carry so much, and it had a lot of topspin on it right off the bat. So scored that a ground rule double for Dane Stewart, and now Bryson Beber will step in.
Really like to see that from Stewart. Hasn't gotten a hit in a while.
And fastball in the outside corner right there from Beber to Beber from strike one.
Stewart hasn't gotten a hit since that extra innings contest against the Ponies a week ago today.
Slider down on the way to Beber and a good eye, 1-1.
And Beber's a guy that's been swinging the bat phenomenally lately. He's got 5 hits in his last 3 games.
Well, there was one hit last time. It was a breaky ball that was at his eyes that he was able to get the barrel to.
Yeah, I have no idea how he did that. He's batting .357 so far this season in 4 starts, 5 games played. Not too bad.
Chance to come through right here. Fastball, good pitch on the outside corner. Not much you could do with that one, 1-2.
And with DJ Musser, he's struggled in the field and at the plate a little bit. Dino Tharp, obviously out with the injury that he suffered last Sunday. First base is really Beber's for the taking, and he's really seizing that opportunity right now.
Made that sparkling defensive play in the last half inning, and he fights that one off to stay alive at 1-2.
Yeah, just the right velocity on that line drive to first that he was able to pick up, and if it had been anything hotter, he might have let that one get past him.
Pretty good job from Carolina working the pitch count up 4 pots. As Beber steps back in, the 1-2 pitch is put in play, back to the mound. No play at third, and the throw almost pulled the first baseman off the bag. Was able to keep the foot on and then slap the tag for good measure on Beber, and that will work as a de facto sacrifice as Stewart will advance to third now with only 1 out.
And that's called doing your job.
That's called a productive out.
That is exactly what Beber wanted to do on that swing. He knows on a pitch that's up in the zone like that, he's not going to get solid contact on it. All he does is poke it into play so that Dane can get to third.
Pitch misses outside, ball 1 to Kason Haggard, the second baseman. Another one of those new additions out of West Texas A&M. 1-0. Hit down the right side and foul. 1-1. Towards the fire pit that they have here down the right field line. Which for App State home games in the middle of March when it's 45 and spitting sleet, not the worst idea. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Big time fastball. Potts ramped back on that one. 1-2.
Haggard officially 0 for 1 in his career with the Disco Turkeys. He 0 for 1 last night, did score a run. He walked twice.
He saw the ball well last night, and he hit the ball hard.
He's got a great swing, and he played amazing in the field.
And a good cut right there to fight that one off, and it's still 1-2.
I'm really excited to see what this Disco Turkeys team is going to do in the next couple of weeks before we come back home in about a week and a half, a little bit under 2 weeks. It's going to be a really important stretch.
The best test as far as a Textile League team goes that they faced yet in the Boone Bigfoots. And misses upstairs 2-2.
And Statesville is no easy contest either. And the fact that the Disco Turkeys would have come out victorious if both teams had played a clean game, that says a lot.
Into shallow right, should be playable, and it is. Tagging at third and bluffing the go is Stewart, wisely laying off as the catch is made down the right field line by David Julian for out number 2.
And the one thing the Disco Turkeys have done more than anything this season is strand runners. They cannot do that here. A big spot for Kix Farrell.
Absolutely must come through out of the 9-hole, get a leadoff double like that. Again, we talked about it. Bases loaded the first and second inning last night in Mooresville against the Spinners. Stranded both times. First pitch to Farrell is inside, and an appeal down to the base umpire. No swing, ball 1. Tough one to lay off, though. He did a good job to keep the bat head back. 1-0. Outside, 2-0.
And with Dion Tubbs on deck, a walk is just about as good as a base hit here. Won't bring in the run, but you know what Tubbs can do at the plate.
He can put the ball in play, and with his speed, anything can happen. 2-0, popped up into foul territory. Should be an easy play over there for the first baseman, Logan Lex, who makes the play to retire the side. And he'll come to bat to lead things off for the Bigfoots in the home half of the second after this on the Carolina Disco Turkeys YouTube. Back here in Boone at Beaver Field, Brett Wiseman alongside Graham Tuck. Turkey stranded another runner in scoring position for the second consecutive inning, but AC Plum looking to keep things going on the mound after a 6-pitch first inning. And showing bunt bluffing and taking it back for a breaking ball in the dirt is Logan Lex, the first baseman. Interesting decision out of the cleanup hitter.
Another interesting decision is the music here at Beaver Field. You can't really decide what they want to do. Played all country in the pregame and now some hip-hop in between at-bats.
Well, that's usually the mix in Boone. It's one or the other.
See, I much prefer the straight disco medley that we've got in Winston. Can't wait to get back to that.
Can't wait to get back to Truist. As beautiful as it is up here and around the Textile League, Moore Park was a good visit last night, but nothing beats Truist in downtown Winston. 2-0 the count to Lex. Crum set the pitch. Misses down and in, 3-0. From Plum. That's a breaking ball in there, strike one. Well executed that time to get back in the count.
Be interesting to see what Lex can do here. Hitters count for the cleanup man. Plum's got to work his way around it.
You got to come after him, but you can't leave anything over the heart of the plate. 3-1. Misses high, ball 4, and it's a leadoff walk for Lex. They get the Bigfoots going here in the home half of the second inning.
And when you get to that 3-1 count, it's really pick your poison because you can either do that or hang one over the plate like we saw Ben Taman do twice last night in the bottom of the second, resulting in 2 deep balls, 1 solo shot, and a 3-run home run. And then the Spinners never really looked back from that point, never trailed again or even tied things up. And the first base runner of the evening for the Bigfoots comes in a big spot, middle of the lineup. Danny Trevina should be interesting to see what he can do here.
Dallas Trevina, the right fielder, wearing number 11 in green. Danny Trevina checks his swing and fouls it off for strike one. Yeah, this is getting interesting as far as the music
especially
selection goes.
Music between pitches. Between batters, that's normal, but between pitches, normally you throw a sound effect or two in there.
Oh, no.
A little shout out to our music guys at the Truist Stadium.
I'm kind of digging it. Runner goes for second, pitch misses high, throw down, not in time. And it's a stolen base for Logan Lex, who, for a first baseman, you saw he was trying to bunt the first couple of pitches that at bat.
He's got some speed.
He's got wheels.
And for a cleanup man, too, you don't normally see somebody at that spot in the order.
Okay, smooth criminal I'm okay with for a stolen base. That fits.
But Drake and
Specifically
Kanye,
the Alien Ant Farm cover.
Drake and Kanye between pitches is a little bit more suspect, I'll be honest.
I know somebody that would have a gripe because he would think Kanye played anywhere would be a good move. As that one banks off the plate.
You and I both know.
And that's the one thing here with Boone that's different than it was last night in Mooresville is the backstop's about twice as big.
Well, and I played at a field in high school where our backstop was at least 30 feet from home plate. We never officially measured it, but it was a long ways. And this is probably the closest thing I've ever seen to it. And our backstop was a metal fence. It's not hard like this one here. So as a catcher, you've got to adjust to that. You've got to know that, it's much more important than ever to block things up behind the plate.
And it's turf, so the ball's going to bounce even harder.
Exactly. And that one hit the plate, so it bounced even harder than otherwise.
2-1 on the ground to the left side foul, and the count even 2-2.
It's a big spot for Plum. Got to work his way around this one. If you let this run in and still have no outs in the inning, that is not what you want to do here. You got to at least get an out. If the run scores, okay, you can live with it. That's what walks are going to do to you at this level of baseball, but you've got to record the out.
Like I said, you want to put walks in buckets, and like I said last night, that would go in bucket 2, which would be non-competitive pitches. 2-2. On the ground to the left side and bobbled by Farrell. The run's going to score, and Trevina's going to reach, and it's 1-0 Boone.
And if it's not one thing, it's the other. We've said it multiple times. Walks, errors. It's what kills a team, and it's killing the Disco Turkeys early in this one. Got to change something if you want to get around it.
So score that in E5. No RBI on the play. You put the ball in play, good things happen, and that's exactly what happened there as Plum try and work back and gets the fastball over inside for strike 1. Plum looks in, gets the sign. Check on the runner. The 0-1. A breaking ball that missed well upstairs and didn't do much breaking, 1-1.
I find it interesting, the choice to put in Newman instead of Ezel or Conklin behind the plate. And it's really a tough choice. All three of them have played very well so far this season, but Conklin has been the everyday cleanup man, and so it's a bit odd to see the team stray from him.
Plum has set the 1-1. Misses upstairs again, 2-1. It wasn't that far outside.
Let them have their fun.
Plum from Rice University in the great state of Texas, the 2-1. In the air right side, out of play, 2-2. Good pitch on the inner half right there.
Yeah, that it was, and you've got to be looking for a ground ball double play here. You've got the middle infield to do it. St. Laurent at shortstop and Kason Haggard at second, a couple of guys that can really flash the leather if you need them to.
Playing double play depth as well, which also means there's a big hole on the right side.
Opposite field.
Plum is set. The 2-2 coming. Up and in, 3-2 as Furchette will dust off the brim of his batting helmet and step back in there.
Yeah, this is pretty much the opposite of the way that Plum worked in the first inning already. This is about to be the 22nd pitch of the day after only 6 in the first inning.
With 16 already in this inning, it doesn't have an out yet. Furchette chokes up the 3-2. Runner goes with the full count. Doesn't matter. Up and in ball 4. First and second with one out, with nobody out. And Newman will make a visit to the mound.
And the Disco Turkeys still have not allowed a hit in this inning. All 3 base runners have reached on an error or been walked.
Free bases.
The theme continues.
Feels that's something we've been saying. We almost sound like a broken record at this point, but it's tough at this level as well to develop that kind of chemistry.
Oh, absolutely.
B, especially against teams in this league that like Statesville on Sunday and then here tonight, teams that are this talented and put together this good at-bats. Plus, you throw into the fact you played CPL and an SCBL team. You played the cream of the crop so far, so. First pitch to Justin Reed. The left fielder misses upstairs, ball 1. Reed, the infielder-outfielder combo from Virginia Wise. The 1-0. Up, and I think that clipped his bat.
They'll say it didn't.
It sure sounded like it did.
I think it might have nicked off the glove of Newman, maybe? That's the only thing I can think of.
That didn't sound like a pop of the mitt sound.
It didn't
that sounded
sound
like a crack of the bat or a nick of the bat, but nonetheless, it's a wild pitch as Hal will score it. It's a 2-0 count, and both runners move into scoring position.
Already second wild pitch of the inning. Both have put a runner on third so far for Plum.
2-0. On the inside corner, that's strike 1.
You mentioned UVA Wise. UVA Wise is where they hold the high school football state all-star game for the state of Virginia. And my cousin, Nathan Caldwell, participated in that a couple of years ago. He's now at University of Charleston.
And that's to the backstop, and that's going to score a run. 2 runs in the inning, and still not a hit on the board. Second wild pitch of the at-bat. It's 2-0.
That was Trevino crossing the plate that time.
Trevina scores on the wild pitch.
So 3 wild pitches, 2 walks, and an error. And it results in 2 runs across. And still no outs.
And now Frichette's at third. So you've got another guy 90 feet away to deal with. And a 3-1 count.
Not ideal.
Plum from the stretch again, the pitch. Down and in, ball 4, it gets away. Not far enough to do any damage, and it's first and third now with still nobody out, and still not a base hit recorded. Carolina has 3 hits and nothing to show for it. Boone has none, and they've got about as many runs on the board now as Carolina does hits. And we're going to have a visit to the mound here. Graham, what are you seeing mechanically that Plum's not doing well here?
Honestly, I can't really tell. Like, there's nothing glaringly wrong, especially because I haven't seen a whole lot of Plum prior to this year, but you can obviously see A.J. Lewis having a conversation with Plum about his delivery. Saw him motion over the top like he was throwing a pitch, and then from more of a 3/4 arm slot.
A.J. Lewis has an interesting story behind him. Aside from being the Disco Turkeys pitching coach,
That's about as interesting as you need already.
He's also a private practice OBGYN.
Well, what do you know?
Brandon Hotellin, the designated hitter for Boone, steps in and squares to bunt, pulls back, and takes ball 1. Might want to watch down at third because there might be a safety squeeze on where they could be trying to sacrifice the guy from first or both. 1-0. Runner goes for second. Throw down won't happen. No chance. So scratch the sacrifice. It won't even be necessary as now 2 are in scoring position with still nobody out.
If you're keeping your book at home, don't count that as a stolen base for Justin Reed. It is a defensive indifference because the throw was not made.
And that was more stolen off Plum's delivery. Stolen off the pitcher, not the catcher, that's for sure. As that is over the inside corner,
And
strike 1.
That is a definite difference from the pitches we've seen from Plum prior to that one. He's much more downhill with his delivery on that pitch.
See, that's the thing that we talked about it last week. If he's throwing downhill and finishing, when you're 6'6" like he is,
6'7", excuse you.
6'7", sorry. When you're 6'7" like that, it's a problem that guys like Adam Wainwright and Madison Bumgarner ran into early in their careers where they almost assumed that because they were tall, guys wouldn't see the ball and would chase at it all the time.
And Plum, the thing he struggled with most so far this season is walks. He had 9 through 3 innings entering this contest.
That's inside, and the count again goes full, 3-2. He's already issued 2 in this inning and in danger of issuing a 3rd.
Three walks already.
Excuse me, 3 walks, yeah.
This will be number 4.
Forgot to score reads.
If it happens.
On the ground to first, Beber will make the play and trade the run for the out. So 1 down in the inning. Reed moves up to 3rd, so scored as an RBI ground out for Hotelin.
And with no outs in the inning, that's the exact right play to make, especially this early in the contest. Doesn't matter if it gets you down in the game or it increases the deficit. You got to get outs where you can. And they're checking something on the mound.
Walter Monday will stand in, the center fielder.
I promise you, AC Plum is not using spider tack. No Garrett Cole antics in here.
I'm glad you brought that up because you ignored it when I used that term last night. Garrett Cole did play for the Astros, we remind you, so.
Home state.
Cheating is something they know well. Is that that is on the outside corner for strike 1. See, when I talk about the Astros, I lose my train of thought because that's how angry they make me. 0-1. Swung on and missed. Good breaking ball right there. 0-2 quickly.
And this is what you like to see from Plum. This is exactly what got him a D1 offer. This is exactly what got him a spot on this roster. When he throws downhill, when he throws downhill like that, there's not much you can do about it.
That's what makes guys like him's breaking ball so effective. 0-2 pitch. There it is. Swing and a miss. And a quick 3-pitch strikeout of Monday. Much better stuff from Plum in that at-bat. And that's out number 2.
30 pitches now in the inning officially for Plum after just 6 in the first.
That will bring up Dominic Arenzo, the shortstop, flew out to right his first time up. First pitch to him is another breaking ball. He seems, I don't want to speak too soon, but he seems to have found it. Strike 1.
He definitely looks a lot more comfortable with his delivery and between pitches as he gets into the stretch.
Set the 0-1. Swing and a miss, 0-2. That's 5 straight breaking balls.
If it ain't broke. It's 5 straight strikes, too.
Exactly. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, it's a breaking ball. I tried to make a pun. Didn't work.
It'll come around to you.
Plum is set. The 0-2. And that one is laced into the gap in left center. That'll drop in for a base hit. The first of the evening for the Bigfoots. And that'll make it a 4-0 game. Arenzo, the RBI single, scores Reed from third, and it's 4-0.
They finally wisened up to the breaking ball.
Well, that one, to be fair, that one was hung.
This is true.
David, sleep till noon every day, Julian.
Here's David Julian, the second baseman for Boone, who, according to Noah Thompson, the public address announcer, apparently sleeps till noon every day.
What's wrong with that?
There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I don't know what Noah's talking about. Here, runner goes for second. The throw not in time. The throw bounced in, and Haggard couldn't get the tag down. Third stolen base of the inning already, so Boone is seeing something in Plum's delivery. Second stolen base of the inning, excuse me. Second one I had as the second one was the indifference, but they're stealing it off him. They're not stealing it off him.
That was a phenomenal throw by Newman. I thought he got him, and he threw from his knees, didn't even ditch the mask.
And that plunks Julian in the head. It's a breaking ball that didn't use a whole lot of breaking. He'll laugh it off and get a hard 90 down to first. And now Plum's going to get a talking to from the home plate umpire. About what, I don't know, because that was a breaking ball. It's not like he tried to do that.
And not many guys, especially umpires, can make AC Plum look like an average height guy. But that just shows you how tall that home plate umpire is, because he stood up next to AC Plum and the top of his head was around his mouth and nose area. That's That's impressive.
He held his own, I'll tell you.
Off and running.
Both runners go. The throw down the second, offline. It was in time. That is the third stolen base of the inning.
Fourth, technically, double steal.
Very good point. So 4 stolen bases in the inning, 3 walks, a hit by pitch, an error, and only 1 hit on the board. And now Plum wants a new baseball. Maybe that's the problem.
Well, see, here's the thing. Newman, if he leads that throw to the opposite side of the bag, that's an out. Easily.
Except
because
he led it towards the shortstop side of the bag.
Julian was late on his jump from first. I think he wasn't wise to the double steal.
I think he missed a sign somewhere. 1-0. That is in the air to shallow left center, and that will drop in a base hit. It'll bounce past, making a wide turn at first, and stopping there is Bass. So a 2 RBI single, and it's 6-0 Boone.
Brett, I believe it is safe to say this is the first time the home team has jumped out to a hefty lead here at Beaver Field, and you have not been a fan of it.
That would be the first time that has ever happened. Whether it's Beaver Field or anywhere on this campus, the first time a home team has jumped out to a lead that I was not okay with. Even in volleyball. 1-0, runner goes again, pitches in the dirt, no chance.
Another stolen base brought to you by Hurt.
That's not a stolen base, that's a defensive indifference. Second of the inning.
And the Bigfoots have batted around in case you missed it.
Bass lined out, Lex is the one who walked to lead off the inning, and now stealing third is Julian.
Yeah, and at this point, I don't know if you can put Newman back out there. They're running all over him.
I don't know if it's as much him as it is Plum's delivery, but
One way or the other, something's got to give.
they saw something, clearly. 6 runs in the inning on just 2 hits. And it's a 3-0 count, and that's in there, strike 1.
Lex scored in this same inning, and now he's back up to hit again.
He had the walk to lead off the inning, and that is in there, strike 2. I don't know about that.
I don't know how much I agree with that one. I'll be honest with you, Brett. That probably should have been ball 4.
That was ball 4. I agree completely. The count on the scoreboard is only showing as 2-2.
It is 3-2, though, I believe.
Here it comes. That is in the air to the right side and out of play. And Lex will stay alive.
I tell you, they got a real operation out here in Boone. They've got food trucks all over the place. They've got some merchandise stands. They've got some nice stuff. Only thing I've seen in the Textile League that rivals the Disco Turkeys. Even though we all know we're far and away number 1.
Food trucks rule Boone as that's lined into left field. That's a base hit. It's 7-0 Bigfoots. The floodgates have not only opened, they've been blown off.
It's the big innings that kill this team. That's all it is. And there's action in the bullpen for Carolina. They're all the way out in deep right field beyond the fence, so I can't get a read on the number, but it looks like it might be
Looks like Scout
Nichols. That's what I was going to say. Actually, you know what? That's an over-the-top delivery. It's not Scout Nichols.
So Danny Travana will return, and Plum a pickoff to first. I think he finally figured it out.
Only 4 RBIs for the Bigfoots of their 7 runs. The rest of them have been brought in otherwise.
Travana reached on an error his first time up, and now that comes in and hits him. And our home plate umpire steps out in front to prevent any sort of altercation, I guess.
And Travana didn't take too kindly to it, I can tell you that.
Here comes A.J. Lewis once again.
Second straight start for Plum that has not gone as planned. And for someone with all the potential in the world that he's got, it's not the way you want to see him go out on the mound. That's one thing for sure.
I think we might have a pitching change here. As we're waiting. Yeah, the bullpen's empty, and here comes, waiting on a number.
I think that's Cameron Keem if my eyes do not deceive me. Nope, it is Chase Locklear, again, from last night.
Chase Locklear will enter the ball game. And AC Plum will leave. Final line on Plum. An inning and 2/3. 3 hits. 4 walks. 3 hit by pitches. And only 4 of the 7 runs earned.
All right, fans, during this pitching change, look down to the Bigfoots dugout and let's pump it up with our Bigfoot players.
We'll bring it back after this on this pitching change as the Turkeys try and get out of this second inning.
Anthony Frechette.
Anthony Frechette will step in now and face the new arm for the Disco Turkeys. After Plum had a less than stellar outing this afternoon into the evening, it'll be Chase Locklear that'll step in and onto the bump for the Disco Turkeys, and his first pitch will miss outside, ball 1.
And Locklear last night, his first appearance as a Disco Turkey, an inning and a third, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, no strikeouts, only 22 pitches.
1-0. Swing and a miss. Good overhand breaking ball for strike 1. See if the Turkeys can get out of this inning and try and get back into this one. Plenty of time to do it. They got to get out of this inning first.
I got to be honest, I'm surprised that we haven't seen Jalen Scott since his phenomenal relief appearance last weekend.
Fouled back by Frechette. That's 1-2.
I would not be surprised to see Scott come out of the bullpen at some point today unless the team is saving him for tomorrow. And unfortunately, we won't have that call. That'll be on the High Times TV, so you can catch it there if you would like.
Good folks at Flow Sports. 1-2 coming. That just misses. Back pick to first.
He
They
got
him. Well, how about that for a little momentum boost to get out of the inning? Newman back picks Travana to end the inning mercifully 7 runs on 3 hits, 4 walks, 2 hit by pitches, and an error. And Boone leads 7-0 after 2. Looking for an opportunity to promote your local business? Contact us today to become a sponsor of the Carolina Disco Turkeys. Opportunities start at just $100 per season. To learn more, email sponsorships at discoturkeys.com. That's sponsorships at discoturkeys.com. Back here at Beaverfield in Boone, Brett Wiseman alongside Graham Tuck as Dion Tubbs leads things off for the Turkeys, who will try and bounce back after that horrific bottom half of the second inning. That is low for ball 1, 1-1.
And this is the same thing we've seen each of the last 2 games for Carolina, just a big inning ruining things for them defensively. I mean, it was 6 runs and 1 inning against the Owls. Last night it was multiple innings of the same theme, 4 in the second, 4 in the third, and I believe it was in the 5th it was 5 more. And then tonight, 7 runs in the second, the most the Disco Turkeys have allowed in a single inning so far this season at any point. Just not what you want to see at all.
And not with the quality of opponent you're playing tonight. You know you're playing the best team in this league right now.
You can't give up anything for free.
Nope, especially not against this ball club.
And for Plum, it was 2 hit batsmen, 3 walks, and 1 error in the field committed by Kix Farrell.
2-2 to Tubbs. On the, outside just a bit, 3-2. I was about to ring him up.
I was right there with you, but 6 free bases, 7 runs. It's no mistake.
3-2 pitch. That is outside ball 4, and it's a leadoff walk for Dion Tubbs.
Let's see if we can even up the stolen base counter.
Which they announced over the PA system as 9.
It is actually 6 if you're really keeping track.
There's 3 defensive indifferences. So that'll bring in Alex Canty, the designated hitter.
In the defense of public address announcer Noah
Thompson,
Noah Thompson. If you're trying to get the home crowd, riled up.
I was going to say, you're not going to announce defensive indifference to the crowd as there's a throw over to first to keep a tab on Tubbs.
Technically, it's only 6. They're not going to say that.
Somebody keeping their scorebook here in the crowd probably would have scored it as a defensive indifference.
That would be me.
Runner goes for second. Here's the throw down, and Tubbs is out.
Well, there's a first. First time Tubbs has been caught stealing this entire season. He was 8 for 8 until today.
Well, they knew it was coming, too. That's for sure. Could pop up behind the plate for Chet, and the throw was well in time.
And even worse, Alex Canty's behind 0-2 at the plate.
Good. Yeah, doubly bad, because on top of that, it was strike 2. Canty chokes up now And he'll line one down the third baseline. Diving
What
stop
play
at
this will
third.
be.
Throw to first is not in time. It gets away, and Canty will make his way to second base and trade places with where Tubbs would have been with one out. So score that a single and an error on the Bigfoot third baseman. That's Tyson Bass, who made a heck of a play, but at that point probably should have just eaten it.
And it's like I said, what a play that would have been. And the throw was in time. It was just
Right.
high. And they incorrectly charged that error to the Disco Turkeys on the scoreboard here.
Austin St. Laurent will stand in now as the Disco Turkeys will try and get on the board. Swing and a miss, strike one on the good changeup. Third hit of the ball game for Carolina.
And St. Laurent had the first one in the first inning. See if he can do it again. It would almost certainly be an RBI with Canty on second.
0-1 to Laurent, popped up
No, get out
to
of play,
the right
please.
side, and it will indeed get out of play as the sun makes its first appearance of the evening here at Beaver Field.
It's a beautiful park, I'll give you that.
You see it in the fall. Those Blue Ridge colors light up out in the outfield. It's something else.
Look, you fan getting a foul ball. Look at him go.
0-2 to St. Laurent, lined into left field. That's a base hit. Getting the wave is Canty. The throw is going to be well late. St. Laurent will hold it first, and the Turkeys are on the board. It's 7-1.
And waving around Canty to score is exactly the right call there.
You got to be aggressive.
You got to be aggressive, down 7. Good managerial choice, even on a ground ball into left field. Kurt Cabana making the right call. And also the right call made by the left fielder, Justin Reed.
To throw to second.
Normally in the outfield with a runner on and a ball on the ground, you're throwing 2 bases ahead of the lead runner. And a ball in the air, you're throwing 1 base ahead. So normally you would throw home on that play for the play at the plate. However, because of the fact that you know that you're getting waved around anyway, you're up 7. Go ahead and just try to get the out at second. Try to catch St. Laurent going for 2. And wisely, Austin St. Laurent holding up at first.
At the very least, you know what that does. It keeps him at first. That's what the throw to second's designed to do, as Kohler a ground ball on to second. 4-6-3 double play. Side retired. So the Turkeys get 1, but leave another stranded. They stranded 3 through 2.5. And the Bigfoots will come to bat, looking to add to a 7-1 lead after this. Back here at Beaver Field, Jim and Betty Smith Stadium in Boone, North Carolina. Brett Wiseman alongside Graham Tuck. Anthony Frechette will lead things off for the Boone Bigfoots, who lead now by 6. Trevette was at bat, or Frechette, I should say, was at bat when Danny Travana was picked off of first base to end the last half of the inning. And there's a breaking ball that is in for strike 1 from Chase Locklear.
Liked what I've seen so far from Locklear, especially today. I know it's early, but good to see this so far.
0-1. Down on the way, ball 1. I like his breaking stuff, though.
I did too. And he throws a lot of strikes. That's something that you need, especially a team like this that has a lot of guys that like to beat around the bush. And there's nothing wrong with that. And try to get chase pitches. That's what you're working on at this level. But Locklear is a no-frills kind of guy. He fills up the zone, and that's what wins you ball games.
2-1 the count, as that's another breaking ball that misses down and away. 2-1 to count to Frechette, the backstop. Misses low, and 3-1 the count. Hitters count for the Bigfoot backstop.
And as soon as I said that, Locklear can't find the zone.
We're announcers. We jinx things. That's what we do. Locklear's 3-1. In the dirt, ball 4, and then for the second straight inning, the Bigfoots have a base runner on a leadoff walk. Now to bring Justin Reed to the plate, who walked in his previous at-bat.
Look at the hat being sported by the first base coach for the Bigfoots.
Yeah, that seems to be a theme because I've seen a couple guys in the dugout with the mountain
cowboy
straw
hat
hats.
helmet.
Yeah. Oh wait, that's an actual helmet.
That is a helmet.
Okay. That is.
I don't dislike that.
I love it, and I've never seen it before, and I'm kind of upset I never thought about it.
Let's be honest, Brett. Were you going to get one of those for yourself when you played baseball?
More than likely, yes.
Come on now. Definitely would not have been legal in whatever league you were playing in.
Would have been legal at Northwest Forsyth Little League. Misses inside ball 1.
North Forsyth Little League sounds like somewhere where they made you wear the face mask.
Actually, no. Surprisingly enough. Shocking I didn't lose any teeth.
They cannot decide what kind of music they want to play here. They played 3 different songs in the same in-between pitches.
1-1 pitch is upstairs, 2-1.
I think your guy, Noah's having a little bit too much fun over
I don't
there.
know if Noah's controlling it or if it's my other good friend Philip Lingefelt that's in there controlling it, but 2-1 nonetheless on the ground to the left side foul, and the count will even at 2-2.
All right, and if you're Locklear here, you got to stop beating around the bush. You got to go at him. You got 2 strikes. First time you've had 2 strikes on anybody this inning, you got to go get him. You want a punch out here or a ground ball so you can turn that double play. Even a fly ball to the outfield is okay as long as it's not a little bloop single.
That's all that matters.
Just got to get the out. You cannot allow a second consecutive base runner with no outs.
2-2 coming. That's well hit out to left, but right at the turkey left fielder. That's Kohler will make the catch for out number 1.
And as
a big one at that.
As I said, you can live with that. It's a hard hit fly ball, but it's okay. It's not going to the warning track. It's not finding a gap. It's dead into left field. You don't want to play around with that too much because eventually gaps are going to be found, but you're okay with that at this point in the game.
It was played perfectly out there by Kohler as well.
There
First
you go.
pitch to Brendan Hotellin is in there for strike 1.
You want to tell everybody how you spell Hotellin?
After this pitch,
It'll take you a couple of pitches.
the 0-1 is fouled away. That's 0-2. So here you go. Get the Scrabble board out. Houghtalin. Hotellin, comma Brandon, who's down 0-2 in the count. He's out of Lynchburg University.
My dad's alma mater.
It's where my girlfriend's aunt is an employee of. Beautiful school.
Lynchburg's a great town one way or the other.
You got Liberty up there as well. It's a cool place to go visit. We stayed up there with
You ever been to the Snowflakes up there?
I have not.
It is a phenomenal
The
place.
last time we went up there was in the summer, but I've heard good things about it.
Oh, I've got a couple of great stories from the Snowflakes. A couple have wound up with me in the hospital, but you know, live and learn.
We gotta revisit that later. Good time to bring that up right before the pitch is about to be thrown, as it's a 2-2 count. Of all the things I never thought I'd hear you hear, it was trip to hospital following Lynchburg ski slope.
Well, technically it was snowboarding, but yes.
Okay, that makes more sense. That misses low and maybe a bit outside. Nope, called strike 3. There was no hand signal from our home plate umpire, but it's strike 3 and the right call and out number 2.
And Hotelin didn't like the call. He's 0 for 2 on the day, but for Locklear,
It's right on the black.
I really like what I'm seeing. I said it last time around. I like what I'm seeing from him so far. No frills kind of guy. If I've said it once, I've said it a couple times now.
Yes, you have said it a couple times.
It,
Say
it's
it again, it will be 3.
Well, it's true.
It is. No, you're not wrong. I'll stop you when you've said something that's incorrect, and you have it to this point.
If you can get a guy out looking on strikes, you're doing something right.
Walker Monday hits the 1-0 pitch, foul to the right side, 1-1, and Locklear came inside on him that time. Monday struck out swinging his first time up. Was that mask off?
I believe that was some future here.
1-1. Upstairs, 2-1. You know what the best part? The best way I've ever seen that song used in public vein? Governor Roy Cooper tweeted the link to it on his Instagram story, or posted the link to it on his Instagram story when he announced the end of the mask mandate. 2-1 pitch. Outside, 3-1. That looked good from here.
It looked good on the screen, too.
Three and 1, the count with 2 down. That is on the outside corner, 3-2.
That was a phenomenal pitch. Great spot, great breaking action, exact right situation to use it.
Yeah, 3-1 count because you know what you're sitting on, 3-1.
And Newman signaling to Beber that you got to know the runner's going on the pitch. 3-2, 2 outs.
Here it comes. That's lined up the middle. No chance it's short for St. Laurent. It's a base hit.
For some reason, Frechette was not moving on the pitch. For what I don't know.
With 3-2 and 2 outs, it's 100% given that you'd be running.
You always run on the pitch.
Every time.
I mean, it ended up working out because St. Laurent wasn't able to get to the ball, but a questionable decision on the base pass.
First hit of the night for Monday.
Struck out swinging in 3 pitches his first time up. It's a big turnaround.
And fourth hit of the night for Boone. As that is in there, strike 1. Another good breaking ball from Locklear.
And that is the 25th pitch of the inning for Locklear. He's done pretty well, but he's worked a lot of counts up towards the 5 to 6 pitch range.
And give credit where credit's due. There's some pretty good at-bats on the other side of things, but that's upstairs, ball 1. And get pitches like that are non-competitive. You put those into that category of, okay, it's not that he's, not getting him to chase or anything. It's that some of these pitches aren't even close. 1-1. Down on the way, 2-1. There's good arm action on the slider.
Well, down by 6, what do you really have to lose,
Exactly. Come right after him. Never scratched one across last inning. You have another long half inning this time. 2-1. Swing and a miss, and a big one at that. It's 2-2.
That's what you call a buckler.
That is indeed a knee buckler. That's one of those that if you're playing MLB The Show, you've pressed square before the ball has even left the pitcher's hand. 2-2 is in the air to the right side. That'll get out of play onto the grass hill, and a rabble of young fans will tackle each other for it. I was always one of those kids, no matter what game I was at, I had to get the foul ball.
I just chilled and kept my book. I kept my scorebook. I was more focused on that than anything else.
Misses in the dirt, or the turf, I should say. 3-2 the count.
All right, fans, get loud here. 3-2, 2 outs, runners on first and second.
You wonder if they'll run on this one?
Driving these runners.
You would think. Fans
Fool
make
me
some noise
once.
here. 3-2, 2 out.
Yeah,
Yep, there they go. And that is line caught at third base, and a big timeout right at Kix Farrell, who snags it to end the inning. So a couple of base runners stranded, no damage done, but the Turkeys continue to trail by 6 as we head to the 4th in the high country. Back here in Boone, North Carolina. I apologize for the technical difficulties there. You were able to see the first 3 pitches of the at-bat. It has Trey Newman down on the count 1-2, and that is hit on the ground towards the hole at third. Picked on a short hop nicely, and the play made by Tyson Bass for out number 1.
Quick 4-pitch at-bat for Newman, who has not been stellar at the plate as of late. And they were running all over him in the bottom of the second as well. You got to turn something around.
Here's Dane Stewart. He'll step in and look at a fastball up for strike 1. He had the ground rule double his first time up. Look for something big out of the Demon Deacon here. Breaky ball that's on the outside corner, apparently 0-2.
And if you're just joining us, I want to remind you the score is 7-1 Boone. For some reason, the scoreboard not up there right now. There he goes.
And a 3-pitch strikeout looking of Dane Stewart as Zach Potts just carved him apart in that at-bat. Bryson Beber will stand in now, grounded out. Back to the mound his first time up. And we'll ground one foul to the right side and off the facing of the Bigfoot dugout. It's 0-1. Still plenty of time to come back in this one.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
0-1. On the ground towards second. Fielded cleanly. Throw to first in time from David Julian. And that will retire the side. 1-2-3 go the Turkeys in their half of the fourth to the home half. And the Bigfoots will try and add to a 6-run lead when we come back. Back here in the high country, Beaver Field, Jim and Betty Smith Stadium in Boone, North Carolina. Brett Wiseman alongside Graham Tuck. Disco Turkeys baseballs. They take on the Boone Bigfoots. And the first pitch of the bottom of the fourth inning from Locklear misses low. Ball one to David Julian, the second baseman for Boone. 2-0 the count now.
He's 0 for 1 today.
Grounded out and then was plunked in the noggin by a breaking ball from AC Plum, as there's a breaking ball that actually plunked our home plate umpire in a not so favorable spot. And I'll leave it at that. And now a visit to the mound by Trey Newman as it's a 3-0 count. It's the first we've seen Locklear really lose his control.
And each of the last 2 plate appearances that he had to work his way around in the bottom of the third, both got to a full count. And the ones before that were all at least 5 pitches, at least.
Well, the mound visit helped. That breaking ball right over the inner half for strike one. And it'll bring the count to 3-1. Here comes the 3-1. That misses down and away. And for the third consecutive inning, it's a leadoff walk for Boone. This time it's Julian, the beneficiary, who's on base for the second time in 2 at-bats.
So that is now between errors, hit batsmen, and walks. That is the 8th free base runner of the day for the Bigfoots. One of them is on first, and The other 7, a good amount of them come around to score. And it's difference between 8 and 1 is 7. That's how many runs are on the board.
Very good math, Graham. I'm glad
I did graduate from high school, so.
You did graduate from a magnet high school, which means you're 10 times
You
smarter
put
than
way
me.
too much emphasis on that.
You gotta
It doesn't mean as much as you want it to.
You also go to High Point and take
That
calculus.
also doesn't mean as much as you want it to, even though I love my school. Don't get it twisted.
Okay, you took calculus.
Okay, that I did. I'll give you that one.
I took math 2 to get the gen ed out of the way. 2-0 count as we return to what you actually tuned in to see, which was baseball. The 2-0 from Locklear misses down in the end, and again a 3-0 count.
4 straight plate appearances for Locklear that have gotten at least 3 balls in the count.
And it's tough to really put a finger on something that he's doing because, like with Plum, it's the same kind of thing. It's not like he's doing anything particularly wrong with his delivery.
Well, and at the same time, Locklear, more than anybody else on this roster, is a guy that we know very little about.
Right.
He's not even listed on the team's website yet. We don't know where he goes to school, can't find him online. You don't know much about this guy whatsoever, so we have no prior knowledge of what his delivery is, quote-unquote, supposed to look like.
That breaking ball was much better and in there 3-1, but as with the last at-bat, the breaking ball that made it 3-1 might be the only strike of the at-bat. Hoping not to repeat that here. The 3-1 runner goes, swing and a miss, and the throw down not in time.
Count that as the 7th
Wait a minute.
stolen
I
base.
think the home plate umpire is calling that interference. He is calling interference on Bass. So Bass is out. Julian will have to return to first. So there's a runner on first with 1 out, and the double play is in order.
Make that the first time I've ever seen that in a Textile League game.
It was the right call, though.
Oh, absolutely. And it's the first time I've seen it at any level in quite some time.
I mean, usually you're able to pull that off pretty subtly as a right-handed batter, but not so subtly.
Showed his hand a little bit too much.
Yeah, our home plate umpire caught right onto it as that is in the air to right. Over towards foul territory, and it'll bounce just to the right of the line, fortunately for Carolina, as Dane Stewart lets it hop.
So here's the question. Does that pitch thrown by Locklear count?
In the pitch count?
In his total for the day.
That may be the first time you've ever stumped me with a scoring thing.
Because it doesn't count towards the count of the at-bat.
Exactly. Because
But it came out of his hand.
Because the batter's out. Fly ball to center, sky high. Tubbs to the right of that big Appalachian State A in center field will make the catch for out number 2.
Any amateur scorebook keepers at home, if you want to chime in the chat and let us know if that pitch should count towards Locklear's total, please feel free.
Because we don't know, and we probably should.
Definitely should.
They'll call us out on that later. Both our fathers are probably typing that right now as we speak. First pitch to Danny Travana is in there for strike 1.
Like what I'm seeing from Locklear, bouncing back after he wasn't throwing a whole lot of strikes. That catcher's interference looks like it was
a bit of a momentum shifter for the inning.
Yeah, boost.
There's a fastball painted outside half, 0-2.
5 consecutive strikes. 5.
Fingers crossed that the 6th comes.
And if you are interested, this is now twice that David Julian has taken off for second and has had to go back. Once off a catcher's interference, once on a flyout. There's number 3.
There he goes again. There's a fly ball down the left field line. Well hit. It's hooking and foul into the tree line.
That one was gone, though. No doubt about it. That was.
I mean, it went halfway up the woods back there.
That was at least 450. At least.
One of the farthest balls I've seen hit in this ballpark, and you know how much time I've spent here. Very rarely does it go halfway above that tree line.
And those are no shrubs out there
No,
in left field. Those are some big old trees.
Those are legit trees. 0-2 coming. Runner goes again. That one is fouled off. Did they send him a third time?
I'll be honest. I thought that was a swing and a miss in a ball in the turf. I didn't hear any contact.
I heard a nick. Very faint nick. But it's 0-2 nonetheless on Travana, who reached first on an error and was hit by a pitch and didn't take too kindly to it either. 0-2 is the count. That misses high, up and in, back pick to first, not in time.
And that was the exact right play from Beber to reach around behind his back. If he had tried to take the time to get the tag across his body, definitely wasn't going to be in time. Wasn't in time one way or the other.
That made that play a lot closer than it could have been.
It definitely did.
So now 1-2 the count to Travana. Runner goes again, pitch in the dirt, throw down, not in time.
So finally, Julian will get what he's been working at this entire time. That was at least the fifth, maybe the sixth time that he had taken off for second. You know he's
in this at-bat.
And he's not tired out there either.
Just like Scott Van Pelt, he's not tired. Neither are we.
So now 7 stolen bases on the evening for Boone.
Well, App State has a pretty good track and field program, and
well, none of these guys are in it. I can
none
tell
of
you
these
that.
guys are in it, but they might have their schools looking at that.
Oh, and
as we speak,
you want a tidbit? Every single base runner that has stolen a base
has reached freely,
has scored.
So 2-2 now. That one's fouled off and out of play, and that trend will Locklear will hope to put a quell to.
This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat.
Even the ball boy for Boone is cool. He's got a straw hat.
Yeah, but we have sequin jackets, so
Very good point.
I think we win that one.
You have one on the way.
Come on, Brad. Don't spoil it for everybody.
2-2. Line to the left side and foul again. And have you kept up count of how many pitches were in this at bat? Because I've lost.
Yeah, this will be number 9 coming up.
I lost count. I lost count after 6.
That was the 4th foul ball after strike 2.
Dallas is battling up there. Let's get behind him here.
Here's the 2-2. That didn't miss by much, and Locklear was walking off the mound. So the count now runs full, 3-2 with 2 down, and the man at second. As the sun starts to set here in the high country. 3-2. In the air to left. Back goes Kohler. He's got room. No, wait a minute. He lost it in the lights. It drops in. A run will score, and it's 8-1.
That's brutal.
That's the kind of night it is, folks. A 10-pitch at-bat that ends with what appeared to be a flyout. Kohler lost the ball in the lights. Tubbs then raced over thinking he had a read on it, and it dropped in between both of them.
It'll be scored as a base hit here in the ballpark. So an RBI single for Dallas Travana.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. Hard to give a guy an error when he loses it in the lights, especially a place he's probably never played before.
So the trend will continue. Every single base runner that's stolen a base coming around to score. And on the other side, Deion Tubbs got caught stealing for the first time this entire season tonight.
Past couple of nights have been, as you would say, just those kind of nights, so to speak.
Well, Carolina is averaging 9.5 runs allowed per game, and they're already at 8 here in the bottom of the fourth.
And against a ball club like this, as we talked about, free base runners are not the way you want to go. (2-0). Popped up right side towards the Disco Turkey dugout. Could be playable. Newman makes the catch, falling backwards to retire the side. Some aerial acrobatics from the Turkey backstop, and that will retire the side. Bigfoots leave one, but they get another one across, and they stretch the lead to 7 as we head to the top half of the fifth in Boone. Back here in Boone, North Carolina, Brett Wiseman alongside Graham Tuck from the high country, Beaver Field on the campus of Appalachian State University. And the point of contention for us last inning has been resolved. Did the pitch on the catcher's interference count? My father, Matt Wiseman, said that because the interference occurred after the pitch indeed does count.
Which, honestly, I probably could have guessed that.
We wanted to be sure. We wanted to use the guy that spent his entire childhood playing Stratomatic baseball, which if you don't know what that is,
that's a tongue twister, is what it is. That's the Stratomatic.
Stratomatic was fantasy sports before fantasy sports existed. 1-1 down in the way, 2-1. Also spent most of his summers at Busch Stadium in sweltering heat-keeping scorebook. Down in the end, and the plot thickens now, 3-1. For Kaysen Haggard, who popped out to second his first time up. 3-1 is in there, strike 2.
Part of the group that left Dane Stewart stranded on third after he's had that ground rule double to start things off in the second.
3-2. In the air to the right side, hooking and out of play, foul. The count will remain full.
So this is about to be the 65th pitch of the day for Potts on the mound. Not too bad.
Been really, really good.
And efficient at that.
Another 3-2 out of play. Through 4 full to be at that point. Pretty darn good. It's the reason this team is on top of the Textile League, and you're seeing it here tonight. That one is hit on the ground to third. Fielded cleanly. The throw is in time and staying on the bag nicely is Logan Lex on the throw from Tyson Bass, and that's out number 1.
Next up for the Disco Turkeys, number 27, the third baseman, Kix Farrell.
Kix Farrell, the third baseman, will step in now. He also popped out his last time up.
Too many infield pop-ups, if you ask me tonight. For
Oh, there's no
the Disco
doubt.
Turkeys.
Even in foul territory, there's just too much popping the ball up. I don't know if they thought that Beaver Field was going to be like a Coors Field Mountain effect, but I can tell you from experience that's not the case.
What do you consider experience?
Watching games here. The ball does not carry.
Fair enough.
Watching games here, calling games here at my time here, 1-1. Fouled off the back leg of Farrell, and he'll shake that one off.
I thought you were implying that you had been playing games here.
No.
I was like,
No.
oh, come on, Brett.
They wouldn't even let me on there to play wiffle ball, Graham.
You got some kind of underground college baseball career you wouldn't tell me about?
No. Nope, not at all. My dad played at Wingate for a couple years. Was in the D2 championship game tomorrow out in Cary. So that misses upstairs 2-2. Go Bulldogs. But no, with the exception of Dayton Store's fly ball out to right field, the ball does not carry here like you'd think it would. And that misses outside, and the count goes full now to Farrell, 3-2.
Second straight full count. Haggard and Farrell know how to working at bat teammates at West Texas A&M.
Full count pitch from Potts. In the air. That should get out of play, and it will, to keep the count full.
You see the swarm down the hill behind the first base dugout for that one.
Dude, that's one of the most fun things about this. We get to watch kids attack each other for a baseball. It's fun, right? We're having fun. 3-2 pitch. On the ground to third again. Bass up with it, makes the throw. 2 ground balls to third and 2 outs as Farrell is put out by his opposite number for out number 2.
Next up is Go Turkeys number 3, the center fielder, Dion Tubbs.
So Dion Tubbs is still looking for his first hit since last Friday. He's 0 for 1 tonight. See if he can break out of that.
Be a good time to get it as that one misses well outside, ball 1. And Potts looking to get through the middle half of the 5th inning, which would make him eligible to be tonight's winning pitcher. Outside, 2-0.
And Tubbs has worked a full count in each of his last 2 plate appearances. Struck out the first time, drew a walk the second.
Leadoff walk at that, 2-0. Outside, 3-0. Kirk Cabana imploring him to wait on his pitch. He gave him the green light, though. 3-0. Down on the way, ball 4, and into the second straight at-bat for Tubbs. He's aboard with a walk.
That's the kind of jinx that I like to inflict.
See, there are certain announcers' jinxes that are good and the majority of which are bad, but on the rare occasion that there's a good one, like that one. So Alex Canty will step in now.
Scored the lone run of the day for the Disco Turkeys, at least to this point.
Fouls that one back, 0-1. He has indeed. He had the single and then the error on the diving play at third. Then came around to score on the very next play on the single by St. Laurent. 0-2 is the count on him. Disco Turkeys need a rally. 0-2. Outside, 1-2. Good pitch, though. Not a bad pitch and not a bad spot to miss. The 1-2. That's in the air. Out to center. Well hit, but playable. And the catch is made by Walter Monday to retire the side. We're halfway through this one in Boone. The Bigfoots hold an 8-1 lead. Back live in Boone. Brett Wiseman alongside Graham Tuck, bottom half of the 5th inning. Justin Reed steps in for the Bigfoots, who hold a 7-0 lead, but only out-hitting Carolina by 1, which is the story of the ball game. 3 bases. That's in there. Strike 1 from
the story of the season so far, really.
Exactly. That's strike 1 from Conklin. Excuse me. Locklear. Getting all kinds of mixed up over here. Back for his 3rd inning of work, and he's ahead in the count 0-2. He has done a whale of a job coming out of the bullpen, that's for sure. 0-2 coming. In the turf, 1-2.
Has not allowed a run, well, has 1 run allowed, and it was earned, but very limited hits, only 2 since he came in.
1-2, in the air to right, that's well hit. Back towards foul territory, it'll stay fair, down into the corner, watch out, he might go 3, he'll make the turn, the relay is not going to be in time, and it's a leadoff triple for Justin Reed, who barely got that one to stay fair.
Got all of that one for sure, just barely missed a home run. One way or the other, he's in scoring position, just 90 feet away.
And Kirk Cabana's having a discussion here with our home plate umpire. That play at third was actually
very close.
It was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be initially.
I think the right call was made, though.
But yeah, I think he got underneath the tag, and it was a good job by Farrell to hold the tag in case he came off. But
and it was a great throw from Haggard at second as well.
It's a very well executed relays. Better speed. So Reed on with a triple. And that is lined to short, picked. St. Laurent will throw to first for the out, but the run scores
what
to
a
make
play.
it 9-1.
That's a great play over there at short. You have any idea how hard that pick is to make at second, especially the way that he did. No flare, just straight up taking it into the body. That's a very difficult ground ball to pick up, and he made it look routine.
I mean, you look at the hop that thing takes on turf. I mean, it's almost like a lacrosse ball at that point.
All kinds of bounce.
A 1 out, nobody on. You'll take that as that's on the inside corner for strike 1 to Monday. We'll score that an RBI ground out for Hotelin. And Monday, who has singled and struck out thus far. 0-1. Well hit to the left side, but also well foul. It's 0-2.
Somebody's up in the Carolina bullpen. Can't quite see who it is. They're back behind the signage. But as soon as we get a look on a number, we'll let you know.
Hey, he's just stretching and tossing right now, not actively warming. So,
I believe they just got out there.
Yeah, so just a stretch and toss portion. 1-2 the count. After that one misses outside. Well, once he steps back to the bump, we'll be able to see 1-2. That is
a
close,
very good pitch.
And a
very
good
pitch is what it is.
But it's ball 2.
Locklear has smiled every single time they've played the just a bit outside bit.
It's kind of what you have to have. That is over the outside corner, but also a ball. It's 3-2. Locklear ready. Now the pitch. That is high, ball 4, and Monday draws a walk.
Next up, your Boone Bigfoots, number 22, Dom Lorenzo.
Dom Lorenzo will step in now. His 4th at-bat of the ball game after the 2-out walk to Monday. Flied out to right. RBI single and then a line out to third. As Locklear gets strike 1.
That line out to third was a big one because it ended a third inning that could have been trouble for the Disco Turkeys. Had it not stopped there, there were 2 runners on when that line out on a full count pitch ended the inning.
0-1. Down and away, 1-1. I'm not going to lie, I've smiled every time that's happened too. Mainly because it's just my favorite baseball movie, but
I don't know, man. You're kind of sleeping on the bench warmers.
oh, that's in the top 5. 1-1.
That's top 1. That's a debate we've got to have on a later game.
That's something else we're going to have to revisit
If we
later.
ever get into a rain delay, just know, if you're listening at home, you will not run out of phenomenal things to hear us talk about.
You will be entertained. Trust me. We will find ways to keep you watching.
And somehow we've dodged 3 rain delays already in this young season. Technically, this game was delayed about 15 minutes, but
Yeah, don't speak too soon. There's still some very ominous black clouds that are moving.
yeah, a lot of blue sky too, though.
Yeah, they're moving rapidly, but
And we're on turf, so.
true. Trust me, I know that unless it's like a torrential downpour, they'll get the thing in here. 1-2. In the air to the right side, foul towards the fire pit. Nine runs on just 6 hits for Boone. And that walk to Monday was the 9th free base surrendered by Carolina.
You see any correlation there?
You know, I kind of do. It's in the air foul as well, and the count will remain 1-2. So, Graham, what you're saying is, and let me make sure I'm getting it right here, the 9 free bases, those runners that were given free bases,
Right.
accounting for the 9 runs on the board.
Right.
Okay, good.
And that has been the case ever since I was in high school. That is exactly what my high school ball coach told me. Walks and errors are going to lead to runs. And I believe that is Scout Nichols in the Carolina bullpen.
It looks like it. Ground ball down to third. Foul, though. Count remains still 1-2. We had a nice chat with Scout Nichols' dad last night, as there's action now in the Boone bullpen as well, as you saw there on your screen. It's number 7, Nolan Ledger, who's loosening for the Bigfoots down the left field line behind the indoor practice facility used by Appalachian State. Another 1-2. That's in the air to right. This will be playable. Calling off Stewart, and he can't make the play.
You could hear that from here. Stewart coming in saying, I got it, I got it, I got it. And he, in fact, did not.
Well, it's at that point, I think that's too shallow for him to call it off. Even though he's running
Well, he's
straight
coming in. That's his ball to call off.
Exactly, but I feel like as the second baseman, you would have a better read on it
You're
if it's
probably
that shallow.
right. You're probably right. And it's not like, it's not like Haggard was still trying to get to it. He was already there, settled underneath it,
Exactly.
and he got waved off.
That pitch is in there for ball 1 again. As it's 2-on now for David Julian. 1-0 the count, and Locklear will step off.
80 pitches now on the day for Locklear.
The score that is an E9 on Stewart.
It's up on the board as a base hit.
You
I
should-
think I agree with that, to be
Really?
honest with you. I think I do.
Okay.
That's a very well hit ball. Like that's
That's a tough
no
spot,
man's
but-
land. It's discretionary, but why not keep our team fielding percentage about as high as we can?
It's a very good point. 2-0 the count. And that is laced into left, but right at Henry Kohler, who will make the play for out number 2.
I'll be honest with you. I thought that was 3. It feels like we've been out here a long time.
Yeah, no, I did too. I had to look at the scoreboard because I didn't see anybody leaving the field. But there's not many other places other than Truist Stadium you'd want to be to call a game, that's for sure.
Oh, for sure.
Tyson back.
Easily my favorite venue that we've called a game in so far this season that is away from home.
Tyson Bass steps in now. He was guilty of that catcher's interference his last time up, which is how he was retired.
Does have a 2 RBI single to his name.
That's down and away, 2-0.
Has the most RBIs of anyone on the Bigfoots so far today with 2. Him and Hotelin both with that same line.
2-0, down and in, and it's 3-0 now.
AJ Lewis still has both of his mound visits for the inning under his belt. Tucked away in his sock, so to speak.
3-0. That's in there, strike one. Likely Locklear's last inning, you would think.
Oh, you're trying to get him out of it for sure.
Let's get him through this inning. He's done a good job to come in and eat these middle innings here. What was necessary for Carolina, the 3-1's in the dirt, ball 4. Now the bases are loaded with 2 down.
There's another base on ball brought to you by VI Production Works. VI Production Works makes the winning process easy.
This is a big spot here for Carolina. Last night, you mentioned it in the pregame, they left the bases loaded twice. First time the bases have been loaded since that second inning for the Bigfoots. It's a big spot for Locklear to get his way out of with 2 outs.
So Logan Lex, the first baseman, will step in. Walked and scored his first time up. Singled and then flew out to center. He takes strike one. Locklear trying to fade. The bases loaded. 0-1. That's well hit down the left field line and a home run if it would stay fair, but it's well into the woods foul, and it's 0-2.
This is a big, big spot for the first baseman. 1 for 2 so far. RBI single and a run scored 2 separate times up.
0-2. To the right side now and foul.
It's now 90 pitches for Locklear.
Just hoping he can get through this inning. Lex digs back in. Locklear has the sign he wants. The 0-2 coming. That is
that's a great
just
spot.
a bit inside 1-2, but you said it, perfect spot.
That's a phenomenal pitch. No other way to put it.
And there's not a whole lot you can do on the mound when that happens. One and two the count now, Locklear. From the stretch, he's got the sign, the pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3, and Locklear gets out of it. Bigfoots leave the bases loaded, but they tack on another one to pad the lead. It's 9-1 through 5 in Boone. Hey, Ostentation Nation, visit the Foul Territory Team store in order to grab all your favorite Carolina Disco Turkey merchandise to show your team spirit. You can visit the team store at Truist Stadium during our next home game or at discoturkeys.com. Back here in Boone, Brett Wiseman alongside Graham Tuck. You can close the book on Zach Potts as the first pitch is hit up the middle by Austin St. Laurent.
It'll get through.
It gets through, and Laurent's at second with nobody out.
Not exactly the way you want to start things if you're on the mound. Way to stretch that into 2 also.
Next up for the Disco Turkeys, number 15, the left fielder.
So it's officially a 3-for-3 day so far for St. Laurent.
That'll bring in Henry Kohler. First pitch to him, down and in, ball 1. We apologize if you lost us briefly. We are back on live here from Boone. Austin St. Laurent. I guess we scored that as a double, Graham.
I'll put it down as a double. Why not? First extra base hit as a Disco Turkey.
2-0 the count on Kohler. The pitch. That's in there, strike 1. Back here in Boone, we apologize for the technical issues.
And what can you expect? We're out here in the mountains. The connection's going to be spotty. It happens.
It is what it is. Trust me, I lived here for 4 years. 3-1 the count on Kohler. He takes upstairs, ball 4, and the Turkeys have 2 on with nobody out against the new pitcher for Boone. That's Nolan Ledger, and you can close the book on Zach Potts.
Number 5, the catcher, Trey Newman.
Trey Newman will step in now with 2 on and 1 out. Now we are back live in Boone. We apologize if we lost you there for some technical difficulties. As the Turkeys have 2 on with nobody out in a 1-1 count to the catcher, Trey Newman. Nolan Ledger, the new pitcher for the Bigfoots, the left-hander. St. Laurent reached on a double. Kohler walked, and that's where we stand as Newman's fouls the 1-1 off to the right side. It's 1-2. So the Turkeys trying to claw their way back into this one. Down 9-1 after Boone pushed across another in the bottom half of the 5th inning here in the top of the 6th. The 1-2. Down and in. He held off on it, 2-2. You can close the book on Zach Potts, Graham. Final line on him, 5 innings, 20 batters faced, 5 hits surrendered, 2 walks, and a run on 3 strikeouts and 77 pitches, so a pretty efficient outing from him this evening.
Yeah, and the opposite of what we saw from AC Plum getting chased in the 2nd. First time he's been chased that early, but he's been chased before the 3rd. Before the end of the 3rd in each of his 2 starts so far. Obviously not ideal, as I believe a little bit of rain has started to fall here in Boone.
Yeah, the rain jackets are coming out for the seats behind home plate here at Beaver Field. Well, we knew we might not miss all of it. But luckily we're underneath a tent and we play on turf here. The count is full.
There you
Up and
go.
away, ball 4, and the bases are loaded with nobody out.
All right, this is not a situation that Carolina has done very well in so far this season.
We touched on it in the pregame.
Left the bases loaded twice in the first 2 innings yesterday against Mooresville and the Spinners. So with no outs, a huge spot for Dane Stewart. You've got to come away with at least 3 runs here.
Stewart has the only other extra base hit of the ball game for Carolina, the ground rule double back in the second, as he takes that at the knees for strike 1.
And Stewart, 1 for 2, does have that ground rule double, got stranded on third, and in his next at-bat, called out on strikes, 3 consecutive pitches, got him looking.
0-1. Up and away, good take, 1-1. Ledger, the lefty out of Bridgewater, New Jersey, and Coker University, has walked 2 after giving up the double to St. Laurent. That is hit hard but foul, 1-2. Stewart digs back in, taps the plate twice. Ledger has the sign he wants. Comes set, now the pitch. That breaking ball misses upstairs, and the count evens 2-2.
And a walk is as good as a base hit here, as is the case anytime you've got the bases loaded.
Saw that last night. A few bases loaded walks from Mooresville.
At least 2, probably more.
2-2 to Stewart. Swung on and missed. Good breaking ball. It's in the dirt. Everybody stays put, and a big first out for Ledger.
And that is the last way you wanted to go out if you're Dane Stewart. Dane Stewart, because not only does it not bring in a run, but it also gives Ledger some confidence now on the mound.
Now to bring in Bryson Bever. Oh for 2 today with a couple of ground outs. Now a back pick to third, and it almost went into left field.
The hops over there from Tyson Bass on the corner.
Tyson Bass had to do some aerial acrobatics to keep that thing in the infield.
And unfortunately, St. Laurent stranded at third still, and Beber's behind 0-1 in the count.
You don't want to go through the same situation we had last night in the first 2 innings. 0-1. Over, strike 2. Good breaking ball that time from Ledger. And Beber has got to find a way to at least get somebody home here.
Like I said, at least 3 have got to be plated this inning.
0-2.
It's the same spot as the last pitch.
On the outside corner, strike 3. And 2 are quickly down with the bases still loaded.
Exact same spot. If you're Beber, you cannot go down looking at that. Exact same pitch, exact same speed, exact same location.
Next up for the Disco Turkeys, number 24, the second baseman, Kason Haggard.
And that makes the bottom 3 in the order a combined 0 for 7 so far.
Here's Kason Haggard, who is 0 for 2 himself. Popped out to second and then grounded out to third. First pitch to him. That's on the ground, foul, 0-1. Got to come through. It's the frustrations just continue.
Charge.
Right down the pipe, 0-2.
You're just looking at too many pitches right now. They're not going to hand you walks. I don't get it.
You said it. Haggard behind in the count, 0-2. Trying to avoid stranding, the bases loaded. 0-2 pitch on the ground up the middle, and the force out will be made at second, and that'll end the inning. Turkeys leave the bases loaded after 5.5, I should say. It's 9-1 Boone. Hey, Ostentation Nation, visit the Foul Territory Team store today in order to grab all your favorite Carolina Disco Turkey merchandise to show your team spirit. You visit the team store at Truist Stadium during our next home game or at discoturkeys.com. First pitch to Danny Travana. Dallas Travana, I should say, is fouled back 0-1 as the rain is now starting to fall here in Boone, but on a turf field. They'll get as much of this one in as they can as it's outside 1-1.
And here in the bottom of the sixth, the game would be official if it were to end right now. So for the Disco Turkeys, they do not have time on their side or weather at this point.
Nope. And last inning, leaving the bases loaded did not help matters as Scout Nichols is on the mound. Foul back 1-2. Scout's been pretty good this year. And the final line on Chase Locklear, 3 1/3. 17 batters faced, 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 strikeouts, and 4 walks. None of those runs on 91 pitches were earned.
Both earned. Apologies. No-hit batsman. Easy to get confused.
Gotcha.
The lines are all close together.
1-2 down and in, and it even now 2-2. Scout Nichols has pitched pretty well this year, Graham, and we had a really good chat with him after the game, with his dad, I should say, after the game in Mooresville last night.
And Scout, 6 2/3, said that they were working on his mechanics a bit.
Looks like they found something there as he gets the swing and the miss from Travana on the strikeout for out number 1.
And like we said when we were talking about Plum in the first or second inning with the mound visit, you know, when A.J. Lewis made the trip and was looking at, you know, what he was doing on the mound, a lot of mechanics are being worked on at this level. That's kind of what you're here for if you're playing summer wood bat.
Exactly.
So you're not going to, you know, have too many complaints about that. It's what you're supposed to be doing, and it's working out.
And first pitch now to Anthony Frechette is fouled back. Frechette has 2 walks to his credit so far. The 0-1 from Nichols. That's over, strike 2. Good
He's looking
pitch that
really
time.
good right now, really good.
I mean, we talked about the mechanical aspect of things. It's not as much over the top from him, it's more sidearm, which can be deceptive and lethal if you can pull it off, and he certainly appears to be doing that thus far. The 0-2 pitch in the air down the right field line and foul. Stay 0-2. So Frechette stays alive. As the disco music will tell you in the ballpark belongs more in our ballpark than here, but the
Hey, we'll
0-2
take it
coming.
anywhere.
Down on the way, 1-2. Good take. Trying to get him to chase.
Next time out for the Bigfoots is going to be against the Statesville Owls. It'll be tomorrow night, same time, 6 p.m. And for the Disco Turkeys, they'll be taking on the High Toms in Thomasville tomorrow.
That's on the ground third base side, but foul, and another long at-bat for Frechette. Big week next week for Carolina. After the game against the High Toms tomorrow night. 3 on the road at Martinsville, at Greensboro for the first time. 1-2 to Frechette, fouled off again. And then back here in Boone a week from tomorrow, we'll have all 3 of those games for you here on the Carolina Disco Turkeys YouTube. Greensboro, the only team out of that stretch that Carolina has yet to see.
And Greensboro, the only team out of anybody in the Textile League that has not played a league game yet.
1-2 is popped up into foul territory, might get out of play, and it will. And it will remain a 1-2 count as Frechette has heavily choked up on the bat.
I think Beber probably could have gotten to that one if he had gotten on his horse enough. That's pretty far out there in right field, and I think that one might have been playable. It was in playable territory.
It was not quite out of play, but on turf down 8 when it's raining,
That's a valid point,
I don't blame him.
especially with the fence right there.
That's not a very forgiving fence
And a
either.
new arrival at second base who might not be the perfect communicator.
Another 1-2 coming. That misses outside, and the count now even 2-2.
So I believe that is the 8th pitch of the at-bat. I think that's right.
Had about a 10 pitch at bat his last time up. Here comes a 2-2. That's popped up. Beber might have a play at this one,
There
and
you
he
go.
will for out number 1. Number 2, excuse me. Forgot about the strikeout to start the inning.
And
Sorry, Scout.
Justin Reed is up, and he had that big leadoff triple to start the last inning, the second consecutive inning with a plate appearance for the Bigfoot left fielder.
He's had a good day so far as that misses outside to the backstop.
Yeah, he's had a good day. The whole lineup has, really. He's just 1 for 2, but he scored twice.
He scored twice. He walked. He lined out to left with a ball that he squared up. Just happened to hit it right at Henry Cooler. And that last at-bat, the triple. Rain falling heavier now in Boone, the 1-0. That's low, 2-0. And every part of this field is turf, so unless there's a severe weather threat, they'll try and get this one in. Line to first, and Beber snags it out of midair to end the inning. Well, we're through 6 in the high country. The skies have opened up, and the Bigfoots have opened up the scoreboard. The Turkeys have 9 outs to get 8 runs, and the clock starts when we come back. Back here in rainy Boone, North Carolina, Beaver Field, for Wiseman alongside Graham Tuck, as the Disco Turkeys have 9 outs left to get 8 runs back. They trail at 9-1, and Kix Farrell will try and kickstart the offense here in the top half of the 7th against Nolan Ledger. First pitch to him is a breaking ball at the knee, strike 1. Farrell popped out to first and then grounded out to third in both his at-bats to this point. And that is over the outside corner, a good fastball, 0-2. Farrell will choke up now, down on the count 0-2. As the rain gets heavier, that one's in the dirt, 1-2.
So this is now, if you're counting, and I don't know if anybody but myself is, but 3 times in the last 2 nights that the Disco Turkeys have stranded the bases loaded. And this time it came with no outs. That's simply unacceptable from an offensive standpoint.
That speaks for itself. That's up and away, 2-2. You had a double, or what was scored, a single and an error here in the ballpark, and then back-to-back
but that's
walks.
a double. That's a double. Come on now.
We'll score it as such. Trust me.
Give Austin the extra base.
2-2. Down and in, 3-2.
Attaboy Kicks.
Very good take right there. More used to hearing that jingle on third down across the campus at Kid Brewer Stadium than I am here, but the 3-2 pitch is fouled back.
You can see some of the infielders looking up at the sky. Are you going to stop anytime soon?
Yeah, I mean, I can't blame them.
It's gotten a little chilly out here, too. Maybe I should have worn my jacket today.
To be fair, I advised for it. That's in the dirt, ball 4.
Well, okay, first of all, after how humid it was in Mooresville yesterday, can you really blame me?
I can, because it's always cooler in the mountains.
Okay, but you live here. I don't.
Lived
okay.
here.
You basically still live here.
Eh.
You're up here all the time.
This is the first time I've been back here, like, to actual Boone in as aside from a one-day trip to the Parkway in quite some time. That's in there, strike one to Dion Tubbs as the lineup card flips back over after the leadoff walk to Farrell. The wind has picked up, the rain has picked up, the temperature has dropped, which all three are not good signs. 0-1 to Tubbs. In there, strike, wait a minute, nope. That's ball one. Looked to be at the letters and on the corner, but no dice. Count even. Here's the pitch to Tubbs. That's hit foul back towards us. 1-2.
Solid contact from Tubbs. First time we've seen that from him in a while.
That was a good rip at it, too. Foul a pitch back like that, you see where the approach was going, trying to go the other way, where there's a lot of room down the left field line. 1-2. That's in the air to shallow center. Might drop. And it'll hang up in the wind and the rain just long enough for Monday to make the catch. And that's out number one. So Tubbs in danger of losing his hit streak as he's 0 for 2 with 2 walks. He's on base streak, stays alive.
We got a pinch hitter here. It's Macadon coming in for Canny, it looks like. And at the DH spot, it won't have any effect in the field. It's basically just a substitute hitter.
First pitch to him is over the outside corner for strike one. Well, the hope is to get this game in because the objective is to get everybody at bats. The 0-1 coming to Macadon. That's in the air to center. Got under it. That will also hang up long enough in the wind and the rain for Monday to make the play. And there are 2 away. The back-to-back flyouts to shallow center. And now Austin St. Laurent, who doubled his last time up.
.36 pitches now on the mound today for Ledger.
The first pitch from him to St. Laurent is in the dirt, ball one. He's none too pleased with himself after that one, as he will throw out the wet baseball for the moment, a dry one.
Oh, and one thing that, you know, with my experience with High Point University baseball, they try to win each third of the game. Innings 1 through 3, innings 4 through 6, and innings 7 through 9.
Swing and a miss by St. Laurent on the changeup.
This is now, if you want to keep track, this is now the 5th consecutive third that the Disco Turkeys have lost. They lost each third of the game last night against Mooresville, and the fact that they got mercy ruled in 7, I'll give that a third of the game win to Mooresville. And tonight they lost the first third 7-1. They lost the second 2-0. If you're looking for any takeaway, even if you don't get a win, you want to try to win this last third of the ball game.
1-2 to St. Laurent. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Throw down to first. Will retire him to retire the side. Through 6.5 in Boone. The Bigfoots still hold an 8-run lead. back here in Boone. Bigfoots holding a 9-1 lead here on their home turf at Beaver Field on the campus of Appalachian State University. Brett Wiseman alongside Graham Tuck. As DJ Musser has entered the ball game defensively for Carolina, Scout Nichols back on the mound and issues strike one to Brandon Hotellen. The 0-1. Down on the way, ball 1-1. Hotellen. RBI his first time up, struck out.
I think this may be the first time I've ever seen a guy go 0 for 3 and have 2 RBIs.
There's a ground ball that finds a hole on a cue shot. Newman goes slip and slide, and Hotellen has not made any sort of hard contact whatsoever tonight, but is on base for the third time.
Next up for your Boone Bigfoots.
On base for the first time. Sorry.
Walter Monday.
I'll put that one down as E1. I'm not crediting him with a hit for that one.
Scout should have had that one. And we know his dad. His dad would probably tell us the same thing.
He'd probably tell us the same thing. But then again, turf is not a surface
ideal.
that these guys are used to playing on
Nor is
in
it
the
ideal
rain.
in the rain. But that's the reason it's here, because it rains a lot here. Outside for the first pitch to Walter Monday. It's 1-0. Struck out his first time up, singled and walked.
Wind's starting to pick up here.
The rain seems to have died down just a bit.
Yeah,
Don't
it's just
speak
about
too
a miss
soon.
now.
2-0 now. That's one thing people are used to up here. It's misty rain. Two-0. Up and in. 3-0 now. Scout Nichols looking for that ground ball. And you'd have to think Monday up 8 would have the green light.
I think on the contrary.
And that's in there, strike one, taken all the way. Well, at this level, and also unwritten rules don't exist.
Oh, that is a lie. Unwritten rules definitely exist. And especially at this level, these guys don't really have much to play for other than themselves.
So why wouldn't you swing away?
Well, because it's not like with your university or college where if you get in a little scrum, you're going to get suspended from more than just a couple of games. This is college summer wood bat, you know. If you're going to go at if you're going to go at somebody, this is the place to do it. Not condoning any action of that sort, of course, but
It's a fair point. He walks nonetheless. He's on base for the third time. Back-to-back at-bats, back-to-back walks for Monday. Back to the top of the order is Arienzo. One 0 to him is inside, 2-0. And Scout Nichols is in danger of loading the bases.
this is really not a good look for Carolina in this one. Normally, you know, I hate to say it, but the high-scoring offense is against them.
That's a fair ball down at first, and Musser can only get one out. And it would have been fair down the line, too, if he hadn't have snagged it because it hopped over the bag in fair territory. So good play, heads-up play by him to snag it and get the out.
David Julian.
And move the runners over. But back to what I was saying, unfortunately, high-scoring offenses against has been, I don't want to say a theme so far this season for Carolina, but it is what it is. You call it what it is. But the run support for the pitchers has not been there today.
You look at the runners stranded last night, and the runners stranded this evening as well, as that's into right center. That is down, a base hit. Might score two, and it will, and it's now 11-1.
David Julian, 2 RBI.
And that will do it. That's the mercy rule. 11-1. That is the ball game. As we're through 7, so a 10-run deficit.
David Julian with a little walk-off.
David Julian with a de facto walk-off. And he'll do a cartwheel in between third and second at shortstop. That's pretty impressive. I'll give him that. And Boone, who's having a lot of fun right now, winning a lot of ball games, do the same here tonight. 11-1, the final from the high country. The Turkeys fall again. They fall to 2-7. Boone improves to 5-3 and stay on top of the Textile League. For Graham Tuck, I'm Brett Wiseman saying so long from Boone. We'll see you next week.